Hello and welcome to the track M14 track over here at Barcelona. We are about ready for Australia versus Italy. These two teams never met, so which will be a very interesting one. Set up benchmark here. I am Captain Malice. Alongside me today, Melodrama. Good morning or good afternoon, Melodrama.
Well, very early in the morning in Australia right now.
And alongside us, our producer today is Whippin' Red Siren. So, these two teams have never met. The only kind of point of reference we have is a game between Italy and England at the last World Cup, which was a 240-something point differential off the top of my head. So, potentially expecting something similar here in favour of Australia. This is a slightly different Italy team. So we'll see how that goes. Let's quickly run through the rosters, and over to you, Mel, for Australia.
Well, skating in number 11, Sausage Rolls. Number 12, Simon Chambers. 1261, Slinger. 13, Dreadblock. 16, Ballistic Whistle. 173, Copter. 34, Dirty 5. 4, Ashley Collins. 51 is Sin. 633, Grant Milling. 643, Niall Boyd. 666, Slender Jam. 7200, Stephen Trop. Number 80, Flaming Galar. Number 90, Grease Monkey. 99, Mavericki. And sitting on their bench, the coach, Yana Nuku, and the line manager, Bianca Schiaretta.
And that is the Wizard of Oz in their green and gold trim. In white will be Italy, and they line up thusly. Number 10, Rost and Rolla. Number 14, Furia. Number 15, Addison Tony, or Tony Addison. Number 1618, Nicholas Rage. Number 22, Stradamarius. Number 2517, Professor Plan B. Number 3, Santoro Marco. Number 5, Vizani Marco. Number 55, Tony. Number 60, Jojo Murderer. 76, Johnny Bash. 82, Mr. Rebel. 828, Lo Squalo. 88, Uber Circa. 89, Goofy, and 898, Physioterrorist. And their bench staff are Betty Bupp, LOC Raptor, Tasmaniac, and Paul. Heidi Rollerblock?
Yeah, she's in there too.
I only saw 4. There must be a 5th hiding away there.
Yeah, I think up in the stands.
Ah, maybe a mirror bench or a, what do they call it, a third coach base or an
enthusiastic spectator, perhaps?
Enthusiastic coaching spectator. So 2 minutes left until we are set to start. Australia winning their first game today. Those are your rosters again for Australia. They looking pretty strong, pretty comfortable here. Italy doing well as well in their earlier game. It's going to be an interesting one for them in this one. Spoke briefly with the Team Italy coach and talked briefly about their plans for this game, shall we say. And they're seeing this was a learning experience. I think they've accepted they don't really have the odds in their favour for victory here. But they're gonna learn all they can from playing potentially one of the top ranked teams here in the Wizards of Oz.
And of course, lots of the training staff for the Wizards of Oz actually come from VRDL, the Victorian Roller Derby League, who are currently number 1 with the ratings.
WFTDA, yes.
So some pretty strong coaching going on for Australia.
Lots of good experience as well here. One gentleman I saw in Cumbraland MRDA champs was obviously number 11 Sausage Rolls with Portland. So, and there are some obviously you have a lot of good derby in Australia. I keep seeing these scores. I don't get to watch much. You have your there's the men's tournament and all those lovely teams playing against each other. Like Smash is one I hear, and Victoria Men's, Tasmania have a team. There's a couple others. This is your country, and I'm asking you questions.
I'm looking blankly at you, which of course you can't see at home. There was a bit of a problem with the stream feed on track 2. Of course, with we're not able to show you our faces. Some of us are in a witness protection program.
Yeah.
Others of us are actually not attractive enough to be seen on the screen.
No, that's me. I'm one of those ones.
So you'll need to trust us when we say we are far more handsome than we sound.
Definitely. Beautiful. The beautiful lineup of announcers. It's all smiles, fist bumps, and joy on track as we are lining up here ready for the first jam. Physioterrorist versus 666 Daniel Belts, or Slender Jam as it says on the back of his shirt. It's four in a brace 3+1 sort of formation for Italy. And already the Australian blockers jockeying for position there to interfere. Some screening now being put in place by La Squalo, showing us back there to Grease Monkey, who's changing sides straight away.
Grease Monkey starting on the ground there. Slender Jam juking to the left. He gets a bit of a block from Truscott. And Slender's through as lead jammer.
But quickly out behind him is Physioterrorist. They'll try and keep this one as low scoring as possible, I believe. Oh, big block there by Uber Circa, an Uber block. And knocking Slender Jam down hard. A second one there by La Squalo. Italy bringing it here early doors. And you want to test yourself, put yourself against one of the best, and that's a smart play here.
And of course, with the 30-minute game, you can certainly afford to throw everything in the first few jams. Right. And establish yourself with a bit of momentum.
Talking with some experienced skaters earlier, I talk about the first 10 minutes are so crucial in these short games for establishing a comfortable lead or some control over the game. The Italians down to 3 blockers, as they do have one heading to the penalty box. Okay, cheese balls there in the penalty box. Slender Jam on his second scoring pass now. Physioterrorist, I believe, has picked up points, but is stuck in a pack. Strong 3 from Australia. I think every bit of Australian blocking is going to be strong here.
Slender Jam coming through for another pass. That's 3 for him. And a 5-point pass for that one.
Fury going to try and get in there and break apart those blockers, but no dice. They drop right back. Oh, Captain Morales drops off and darts out.
Physioterrorist managing to sneak past Truscott.
4 points, sorry.
1 extra point added to Australia's score, giving them a total of 15 for that jam.
And 4 for Italy.
And just a hello to everyone watching roller derby for the very first time.
And for those of you joining us here today, this is the M14 track over here in sunny Barcelona. I went outside before it was brutally bright. I was not prepared for that. Back on track though is number 22 Stradamarius. That is 1261 Slinger with the star. Slinger jucking around on the right-hand side of the track on the outside edge, darting to the inside, but the Italians covering that space well. Slinger still stuck with 2 to beat.
And Slinger not lead for this jam. Italy pulling the lead out from under Australia. Fantastic juking there from Stradamarius.
Yeah, number 55, Tony, they're getting a multiplayer penalty holding back Slinger. But straight away, a massive black box penalty for Stradamarius. And Slinger on a power jam, but no control. There's a multiplayer penalty pick up by Addison. And that is bad for the Italians who do have a full box now.
And Slinger taking the gap on the inside, completing another 5-point pass. That's 10 so far.
From the disadvantaged position there, Slinger comfortable now as they move around the track.
A 4-2 pack advantage, of course, giving all the help that they need.
Stradamarius re-entering at the back. Brace 3 in front as Slinger is trying to find their way around base 3 as well. Well, now just the brace 2 as Joyo Murderers head to the bin.
Chambers drawing back Stradamarius.
Oh, like the violin. Sorry.
That is my favourite piece of derby, when commentators realise what names are. And the star off for Italy. And a quick star pass.
Yeah.
And that goes off to Santoro Michel.
Santoro just in the right place to receive the star pass on the outside edge. And 2 points were picked up by Stradamarius there whilst they were in around. "19-point jam there for Australia." Oh, there's
a little bit of checking there.
I saw a signal 4 by Captain Dan. I'm not seeing anything changing on the board.
Yep, well, the referee initially had 3 fingers in the air and changed it to 4.
Yeah.
It's now 19 for that jam. 35 jamming for Australia.
Yeah, it's Professor Plan B. That's 2.517.
It's a particularly tall pack there from Australia.
I've seen the Australians. All your packs are tall, I believe.
Copter is taller than most.
I mean, I'm 5'8", so that's my life. Everyone's tall.
35, just a big gap in the middle there. Italy not sure what they were doing there. A 2-wall with 1 extra player off to the side, not really offering any interference.
Uber Circa there, just slowing 35 down for a second, but can't lock him down. Well, Ruston Roller trying to do what he can at the back, but can't get a grip, and he's being rear-goated by all 4 Australian blockers.
It's a very solid wall there being built by Australia.
Yeah.
He's certainly happy with what they've achieved.
Yeah. And spill on track. Who's that? The pivot here took a lovely little spill. Got a approval and cheers from the crowd for falling over. Couple of power jams in favour of Australia. They're going to be starting this one with a power jam start as Mavericky, number 99, takes the star.
Mavericky with a running startup.
Yes.
Up on the outside line.
A run-up.
A run-up, running startup. That's a special way of a new internet company.
Yep. Running start. Mavericky bouncing around at the front of the pack there, corner 1 and 2. Completes his initial pass as Professor Plan B has re-entered the track. Uber Circa just catching number 12 there, napping. Simon Chambers.
Chambers back up though, and in the 3-wall against Professor Plan B. Plan B looks like he's reaching for the pivot.
And that is Plan B. Hey-oh! Sorry. Pivot there, stuck Santoro stuck behind. Simon Chambers doing some good work here for Australia, the Wizards of Oz.
Mavericky with a 5-point pass.
Lovely little change of direction there around the apex to draw the Italians to the outside and dart inwards. Love to see it. It's a great place for a jammer to do that, to draw people out and then bring back in.
Plenty of room there, of course.
Of course.
Santoro trying to use brute force to get past the likes of Chambers and Collins.
I don't really think that's going to work.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, unless you're in a car. And that is the highest score that Australia has in any one particular jam. 20 points added by Mavericky with no answer from Italy.
Yeah, only those first 2 jams where Italy were able to score, the 4th and the 2.
And Goofy is on the jam line for Italy. Italy playing in the white.
And it is the Wizards of Oz in the green and gold trim. Sossard rolls with the star, but lead jammer goes to Goofy. And Sossard does not seem happy. He's sprinting out of the pack. I can hear his skates slamming into the sports court as he sprints. With power. Goofy tumbles around. Sossard's knocked down. Goofy knocked to the inside. I believe Goofy already has accrued the points.
Sarge is going to lap him though.
He is. Runs into number 14 Furio though and slows right down. This will be a positive differential here. Sossard is in his second scoring pass. Goofy's in his first.
Truscott managing to hold Goofy back. Taking him down and forcing that call.
8 plays 4 in favour of Australia, that one.
I believe they call that a shanking. It's very unusual to score more points than the team that had the lead jam status.
Yeah. No penalty issued in that little dust-up fur ball. Oh, there's one block. Was an Italian blocker. Yep. Italian blocker, sorry. We can't see the cheese ball wearing penalty balls due to the Australians being in the way.
We do know that it is sponsored by the cheese ball bearings, though.
That's true.
Thank you for them.
Physio-terrorist with the start for Italy against Slinger. Slinger knocked down, I think, yes, to the inside. So Slinger's going to recycle herself back.
And a star pass by Italy.
Well, lead has gone to Slinger. I'm sure maybe it was a penalty call. Lead may not be issued then. There's lead to Slinger.
Santoro, though, unable to get the lead jam, pardon me, to get any advantage from that star pass.
Yeah, the star pass.
The advantage of the star pass, of course, is usually when your pivot is in front of the jammer and the star passes forward. But in that particular instance, the star passed backwards.
That's the jammer's tired and has had enough pass. Poland were doing that in the early game against Mexico, passing to the jammer who stood next to the pivot, stood next to the jammer, and just because they were tired. Tony being dragged across the floor by Giorgio. Could have been a dangerous situation there if he clipped anyone.
Santoro unable to get past the 3-wall. Chambers, Sin, and ballistic missile.
On the plus side, though, it is a lovely beard-on-beard between Santoro and Sin. Santoro, I think, not matching the size of Sin's beard in that one. But the offense was able to break them apart. Good movement, and Santoro completes and picks up all 4 points. So, I mean, Italy putting on a good display of ability here, scoring points. So this is a very, good sort of showing by Italy here. Not huge amounts of points, Australia comfortably in the lead here with 18 minutes left on the clock, but Italy are scoring. Something some people may not have expected. .35 against Stradamarius. Stradamarius stuck behind a brace 3 from Australia.
2 different styles of jamming there. 35 juking left and right. Stradamarius looking to just drive his way through the inside of the blockers.
That is not a tactic you should use against these sorts of blockings. I mean, Australia are some big guys. Going for power against me, probably not the best option.
Stradamarius taking down Truscott, but back behind it all. One to beat. He gets knocked out of bounds, so he gets to do it all again.
Yeah, Italy really needs to start helping out their jammers here. They're struggling to get through by themselves, and they're not having much luck holding back the Australian jammers. Yeah, so stylistically, it's a bad matchup here.
Stradamarius again recycled to the back of the pack. This must be incredibly frustrating and very difficult to keep up your morale. And while that happens, 35 sneaks on through the inside for a 5-point pass.
Yeah, that brings Australia, the Wizard of Oz, up to 100 points even.
And just a little cheeky block to the outside line by Copter. And it was Copter who drove him out, but Stradamarius seems to think it was Milling. So it was actually drawn back further.
Well, that's why people have uniforms made, because most like each other as possible. Cause as much confusion, take advantage. I would really mean, at this stage of the game, Italy, I think, should go much more offensive. Their defense isn't doing as much as they want. So the offense get the jam around and stop the Wizards scoring quite so freely.
And with a bit of noise in the stadium here, you would have seen bench coach Yananuku for the Wizards having a bit of frustration there, trying to get the boys to cool it off. But it is very hard to hear over the crowd.
Yeah, I mean, its sight should be there. I mean, Australia have mirror coaches all around the outside edge of the track. And the jam refs, sorry, the jammers, their responsibility to look up and look at these things.
Slinger through as the lead jammer.
Simon Chambers running back Professor Plan B. The brace 3 is the tactic of choice here at the World Cup. Men's Roller Lorry World Cup 2018, brought to you by Brace 3s. it's the defensive of choice, because it is the most effective currently until we find something new. I'm just glad Cube's gone.
Italy going into play, a little bit of assistance. Going for the star pass, and again, losing the advantage because the star pass happened backwards. Professor Plan B standing in front of the pivot. But the pivot is through.
There's a lot of confusion about penalties, but the star has been passed.
The hit stick missile going for the cheek bump, and that actually propelled physiotherapist through.
But he's not the jammer. It was an illegal star pass.
So he leaves the star on turn 3.
I think that was a hard call. He heard the call and threw the star off and tried to stop and fell and was issued with the out of play. Bit mean.
Slinger keeps on going.
Consummate professional. Kept scoring. Don't worry about the other team and what they're doing. Just do your job, score points.
25 for that jam. Australia leading by 100 and... Would that be 116? It would be,
yes.
huh?
And I believe that was the largest jam so far. Slinger's 25-point jam, I think. Looking over my producer's shoulder. Yep, 25 points. Slinger with the big jam for the Wizards.
And in this game, we have some amended rules because they are half-hour games. There are no official reviews. There are only a maximum of 5 penalties per player that are allowed. And the game clock
stops. Nothing.
Nothing will stop the clock.
Apart from the end.
It's like the music.
Indeed.
You can't stop the clock.
You can't stop it. Big shout out to Sucker Punch Skate Shop, the largest Derby-owned and operated store in Europe, working both online and having a physical shop. Heavily involved in the European derby community on a number of levels, known for their reliable service, honest advice, competitive prices, and top quality products, of which they have a huge range.
Huge.
Huge.
It's true.
Sucker Punch Skate Shop.
Thank you, Sucker Punch.
Thanks. Goofy, who had the lead jam earlier over Sausage, is here with the star. The giant slender jam, who is just far too tall. It's not fair.
Quite tall, but not so giant, really. Not so
comparative.
Nuggety, you know.
A lot of
compared to Copter, for example.
Ooh, all excitement.
A lot of whistles. Goofy giving spirit fingers and leaving the track. Because the jammer is in the box. The jammer star going back on Professor Plan B's helmet. And that means it's a power jam for Slender Jam.
It's 2517 Professor Plan B in the bin with the star. Looks like a second penalty must have been issued to the Professor, meaning...
Possibly a penalty for confusing commentators.
Potentially. That is a very punishable offence. We're easily confused peoples. Rust and Roller can't do much to stop Slender Jam. Slender Jam straight through lead jammer for the Wizards. Furio just trapped in that 3, and finally the communication gets through to the pivot that they have a go and he should drop back.
Physioterrorist trying to get back to his pack. Slender Jam on the inside with a cheeky apex jump.
Yeah, contacting in midair, but not with enough impact to warrant a penalty.
Penalties, of course, only given if it changes, if it impacts on the play.
Yep. Here's a low block penalty, though, for Slender Jam as he took down, I believe that's 828 Lo Squalo. power jam here for Italy. The professor indicates to be calm.
This is as calm as we get. Italy needing to get in there to give the jammer a bit of a hand, I think.
They're looking to go a bit passive and... Oh, that wasn't passive.
It certainly wasn't passive. That was Physio Terrorist taking on Milling.
Cut track, though, drawn by Milling, was it? Or Copter? One of the tall ones ran backwards. Draw a cut. Professor Plan B goes back to the bin.
And that's a full 30-second penalty. Slender Jam having left the penalty box when that penalty was called.
And the pivot as well. Physio Terrorist going as well. So the two guys who started in the bin heading back to the cheese balls bearing bin. And Slender Jam going for another penalty. So a cut track there. 20 seconds, I think, is what Professor Plan B spent in the bin. So potentially Slender Jam will be starting sat. There's the chirp. No, standing, so just less than 10 seconds. Slender Jam will be in the bin.
And Australia with two people in the centre there running in to tell a story.
But only one of them should really be allowed as the alternate. Just saying. So Goofy.
I think only one of them is allowed to ask for an official review, and the other one is not. You'll notice, Ash Page, they're not actually talking to the referee, talking to Yananuku, the wearing the A.
Meeting the bench halfway. That's what it was. So Goofy with the star for Italy takes a huge hip check to the outside. Oh my!
That was pretty skate machine, playing under the name Sin. He does not look very well.
Yeah, that delayed, and that just took something out of him. Yeah, well worth noting here the Australia bench calling for the call off as soon as she saw the Italian jammer go down. Something very nice to see. Respectful act like that consideration, because Goofy, he got up okay, and he did not look good when he came back here to corner 4. Let's go see.
And of course, there's a few more games of Derby left to go today. Jump online. If you look up MRDWC.com. That will give you the schedule for the rest of the tournament. This is only day 1. There are 4 days.
4 days. 4 days of tournament, same as we had with the World Cup in Manchester. 4 days, starting on Thursday, half-hour games. We're going to continue with half-hour games into tomorrow, in the first half, and then we're going to hour-long, full-length games.
And of course, along with the full-length games will come the regular rules, official reviews, the regular amount of penalties, 7 per player, all of the usual set.
Goofy is leaving the track with the medics. Wish him the best of luck. That was a solid hit by Sin. It was legal. I think it was more the impact with the floor that took a lot out of him there.
Sin being quite a large fella, and certainly the timing of that hit gave it all the more power.
Yeah.
The players take back to the track.
Yeah.
Now, of course, the clock did not stop.
The clock stops for nothing.
Nothing. We have 6 minutes and 40 seconds left. Lo Squalo is on the jammer line for Italy.
Yeah, Lo Squalo looked very good blocking. I'd love to see how he's going to go here with the star. 6 minutes and change on the clock. A little jockeying position with Mavriki. Lo Squalo dragged all the way back. Oh, and he's nearly off the toe stop. Technical issues. The Squalo comes charging out though, slowed down by Troop. Popped off to the outside edge there by the large little number 173. That's Copter. Yeah, he's a giant.
He is a giant. Lo Squalo with the star off the helmet.
And Santoro drops right back into a bad position there.
Well, we're unsure why the star off the helmet. Is it so he could sneak through?
The stash.
Sent to the penalty box all the same. Lasqualo, that was at least the second time that I saw him adjusting his toe stop on the track. Perhaps that was the break that he needed to be able to secure the toe stop.
Yeah, he does need to take a look at that, make sure his equipment is in good working order. As this entire time, Mavriki has just been skating laps and scoring points.
And of course, when there's a penalty, pardon me, when there's a player in the cheese balls bearing penalty box, when the jammer completes a pass, you get one for anyone in the penalty box. Nope. Amazing jump through.
This is apex jumps are the norm now. These guys are doing straightaway jumps. This is crazy.
Tremendous athleticism.
Lasqualo on his scoring pass. I think he may have picked up a couple of points already. The Wizards here quite happy to let the Italians pick up a couple of points here and there.
Mavriki being driven back by Santoro, but Copter putting a stop to that. Mavriki managing to join the track again, putting 4 more on the board. $23 points added to Australia's score, plus a penalty given to Lasqualo, which will give Australia the power start.
You know, I was just watching Copter there for the Wizards. You know what I'm looking forward to tomorrow? Copter versus Optimus Grime in Australia versus Scotland.
That's 2 very large men.
Yes, it is. I'm gonna enjoy that.
Gonna need a wide-angle lens.
Back on track though, Dirty 5 has picked up lead jammer. And Lasqualo is still set.
Chambers denying Rostarola any opportunity to get back to his pack.
Worth noting that Lasqualo has been replaced as the jammer by Stradamarius in the penalty box. Looks like Lasqualo has done the foul out. Yeah, stood behind the track.
Copter entering the track in front of Stradamarius, putting him in a position where he can offer some blocking.
Just running the line lovely is Chambers.
Dirty 5, as you were saying before, just doing laps, scoring points.
That's what the Australian jammers tend to do, just skate laps and score points.
And the star is off for Italy.
Their pivot isn't in a great position in front of the 3, but well.
And of course, when the panty drops, only the jammer can pick that up. None of the other blockers can pick that up.
Got to give, a very nice work by Copter. Positioned himself perfectly behind the pivot, so the star pass could not be completed. Sorry, could not be taken advantage of.
Well, the star is actually in the pivot's hand right now.
But it is the jammer in the bin, Stradamarius, who did a naughty on his star pass, I think. What that was, I couldn't tell you, but he did something bad and was punished for it.
Well, Italy avoiding the extra penalty by dropping the star without putting it on. Furio doing the right thing there.
Yep. 2 minutes and change on the clock. Australia with a 183-point lead. And a huge, huge jam there with a grand sum of 34 points for Dirty 5 and the new highest scoring jam for the Wizards. Slinger was the previous owner, so an up here with the star. Let's see if Slinger's going to let that one lie and try and go back for the biggest jam. Popped to the outside is Slinger, recycled back very slightly. Addison spins and gets back into position with his wall at the front, but can't stop Slinger. Multiplayer penalty issue to Tony.
Tony, one of the more senior players in the Italy team.
Yeah, alongside number 15, Addison. Senior both in age and experience. We do have another Italian skater injured here. He is getting up out of his own power. Just waiting for the points.
There's only 50 seconds left on the game clock.
And this is an official timeout whilst this is dealt with, so that might have been the last jam.
There needs to be 30 seconds left on the game clock to be able to have one more jam. Sneaking just that last jam in.
Yep.
Mavericki in the air, getting his way through as lead jammer for Australia.
Yeah, the jam referee was in the bad position trying to confirm points. It was Lex, so had to come sprinting back through and indicate lead jammer whilst ducking under half the other referees. High quality refereeing here at the Men's Royal Derby World Cup 2018 in Barcelona.
Santoro driven back behind the wall of blockers. Pretty skate machine trying to stop him, not managing to do so. And Santoro completes his track cut.
He completes the track cut.
He does complete the track cut. No one likes an incomplete track cut. And that gets him 30 seconds in the penalty box.
It gives the Wizards here a chance to give themselves a really decent differential to add to their one from earlier today.
And the differential may be the difference in what position they hold at the end of these playoff games. So Australia certainly would be trying to get as many points on the board as they can.
Points do mean prizes, I think. Mavericki there just clean up and pick up another 5 points. Jammer is standing and is now on the way back on track. The Australians very aware. Santoro is recycled again, back there by Sim. Santoro popped up again as Mavericki at the front. 2 to beat, 3 to beat. Still.
Italy just rolling around with those blockers.
Yeah.
Giving another one and another one and another one for Mavericki to get past.
Yeah.
Yananuku asking Mavericki to call that jam off.
Just at the end of the jam, Furia picking a 4-hours penalty.
Italy managing to add 3 more points to their scoreboard.
It's a 10-to-1 ratio in favour of the Wizards to Italy there. That's not a bad result really for Italy, I'd say. A lot of teams.
This is the first time that these two teams have met.
Yeah. Well, a lot of teams struggle to score against Australia, especially at these sorts of in the opening day of an international tournament. A lot of teams do struggle to score against some of the higher ranked teams. 22 points is nothing to balk at. I'd be quite proud if I was probably for that one.
I certainly would be too. Yeah. They played a good hard match.
Yep.
Lots of solid blocking.
Yes.
And certainly, you know, if you wind the clock back and you watch Australia play in the very first World Cup there,
yep.
You know, they're a much more solid team now. So there's lots to learn, lots to be taught.
I have heard a lot of people comment of how clean the Australians look. And not just in their general cleanness, in their penalties.
There's fewer beards. Could be room for even fewer still, I think.
Well, it is an
and the Wizards
display.
yelling out, "You shall not pass."
And they did not let many passes happen.
I've had that yelled at me many times at school myself. Mostly by teachers.
Oh.
Largely irrelevant here, though.
Apart from the maths bit.
Thanks so much for watching. We will be, track 1 will be starting in about 10 more minutes.
With Mexico versus Canada. Over here on the M14 track, it will be Scotland, the power of Scotland versus Colombia. I have been Captain Malice, alongside me,
Melodrama.
and our lovely producer, Whippin' Red Siren. We'll see you all later today.